Welcome, priestesses. Welcome, 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 holy women and men. And so I'm so happy to be here with you. I was guided to burn some dragon's blood right now, so I'm doing that. It's a lot of smoke. So we're clearing a lot of stuff today. So thank you for being here, everyone. I'm so delighted to spend this time with you. Those of you who are here live and those of you who are watching the replay, please feel free to share in the chat if you're here or share in the comments. So today we are here, as always, to gather together to remember our sacred mission, right? To remember why you are here and to release any baggage that does not serve you, right? Any baggage, burdens, old wounds, whatever makes your journey forward heavy, whatever may make your leadership journey more, how should I say, whatever will create obstacles for you to lead in the way that you're here to lead. Hello, Destiny. So glad you're here. So the card I pulled, and I used this Oracle deck, Priestess of the Light, I don't know if you can see it, by Sandra Ann Taylor, who I do not know, but love her deck. And it was so interesting. I've never pulled this card before. And it says adjustment, looking back, moving forward. So do you see this beautiful woman looking back, moving forward? And there's that owl behind her. So I was really struck by this. And what the card information says, and as I was meditating and praying and asking, it was like, oh, right now there's a little bit of like if you've been on a journey, right, and you've been, whether we're driving or walking or hiking, and there's a little pause, right, where you kind of pause to take your breath. Maybe you take a little snack, or maybe you look around at the view, and also you can turn back, right? You can reflect and turn back and see, not to go backwards, right? Not to get stuck, and definitely not to judge yourself. Please, please. In fact, I'm being guided. We're so important, because one of the reasons we sometimes hesitate on looking back is because we're afraid that we're going to judge ourselves so harshly. And so this looking back is not about that. It's looking back and taking stock and noticing, what are the patterns? What are the habits, right? Perhaps even what are the classes? What are the teachings I've been sharing in the past, or the teachers I've been connecting with in the past, or the friends that I really had around my life, but that now, with the owl, right, with that medicine of the owl that's behind her, look at that beautiful owl. With that medicine of the owl's wisdom, we can decide with discernment, like, oh, that time is over now. I don't want to repeat that pattern, or I don't want to repeat that lesson, or those connections with certain people or networking do not serve me anymore. And we don't, again, there's no judgment on yourself, there's no judgment on others. It's just discernment. So this powerful card, looking back, moving forward, it feels like this is a moment of that, right? This is a moment of, like, first of all, like really patting yourself on the back, right? Like really, like, wow, look at all that you've accomplished so far. Look at everything you've birthed, everything you've created, all the classes you've taken, all the commitment you've shown, whatever that is. There's no need for you to compare yourself with anybody else. This is your personal journey. So first of all, just really acknowledging all the good in your life. Even if I know there's moments in our lives where it may feel harder to find those, but when you look at it through the eyes of your higher self, through the eyes of your soul, there's always beauty there. So that's part of this, right? Looking back, moving forward. It's like, looking back at the beauty, looking back at your resilience. Like I can look back and, this year has been so much. It's been a lot of different things, but one for sure has been physical health. So I can look back and like, oh my gosh, have I have I had a really long journey with especially my digestive system. So I can look back and think like, wow, there were so many challenges. There were so many cleanses I had to do, so many changes I had to do, so much at times where I felt I was depriving myself, even though I knew that it really was for my highest good. So I can look back and be grateful and acknowledge my commitment, even when there were times where I hated it and I didn't want to do it. That's just a small example. But we also look back and again, without judgment, but with wisdom, and decide that as we step in, as we get ready, right now I won't go into the whole long galactic new year and all of that, but we're in this very like a portal opening, right? A portal opening that allows us to really get clear on our intentions. So this is the moment, right? This is a moment for you to get really clear on what do you want the rest of the year, the rest of your life to be like. But let's focus on the now, right? So what is it when you look back and you decide I'm moving forward? What are the things that you're leaving in the past? Even if you're grateful for them, right? Even if you're like, you know what, I had to go through that. That helped me become more compassionate or more resilient or whatever it is. But you can also acknowledge, and I'm done with that lesson. And so that's what today is about. It feels like that, right? Like it feels like this moment of acknowledging, of celebrating in a way, but also more importantly, it really feels like a moment of saying goodbye. Saying goodbye to the old. And saying goodbye can bring up a lot. We're not often taught how to do that, right? We cling, we're attached. Even when we're saying goodbye to something that doesn't serve us, it can bring up so much fear. And so this is right now about doing this mindfully, right? About doing this with grace. And please don't misunderstand. That doesn't mean that you don't have hard feelings about it. We can have all of our hard feelings, right? We can have all of them. That's okay. That's part of the human experience. And yet, even with all of those feelings, we can still call in the grace of saying, I'm going to have the courage to say goodbye to this. I mean, there's been so many times on my leadership journey that I've had to say goodbye to classes, to venues, to places where, and what I'm being guided to share is that sometimes it's harder to say goodbye to something that's working, right? There's been a lot of that in my life. I mean, there's certainly been times, very dramatic times in my life where I've had to say goodbye to things that just clearly were not in my highest good. There's also what I find as you keep walking on your leadership journey, that you start to come into this place in your life of refinement where you start to be invited to say goodbye to things that aren't obviously not for your highest good. Right. So for example, years ago, and some of you met me there, I was teaching a class, a meditation class that I loved teaching. It was in person. I connected with so many wonderful people. I learned so much. It was great. And it wasn't like, and then it got bad and I knew I had to leave. It wasn't like that at all. It was just that, in fact, if anything, it was a very popular class. But in my meditation, in my prayer, in my body, I was starting to sense like, it's time for me to let that go. It's time for me to step away from that. And let me tell you, it can be harder to do that when your ego, right? Then your logical mind's like, well, how could you do that? You're making money. It's good for you. Da da da. If you leave, what? Blah blah blah. All the fears that came up. around leaving something that appeared to be like it wasn't hurting me, but my heart was saying, you need to let that go to make space for something else. And so that's the power of the goodbye, right? That's why the goodbye can take courage. And again, this is why this adjustment, looking back, moving forward. Sorry, I'm trying to show it. There we go. So here you have this beautiful priestess. And look at, I don't know if you can see her hands, almost like they're radiating light. You can see how powerful she is. And yet the owl's guiding her to look back, not so she can go backwards, but so she can have that discernment and remind herself, okay, wait, I learned the lessons. I learned, and possibly some hard lessons, right? And so I'm going to take that wisdom, I'm going to take those pearls of wisdom. That's what's coming forward, those pearls of wisdom. And I'm going to take those pearls of wisdom and move forward with those pearls. So when I go through a cycle again and that lesson comes back, I'll remember like, oh, wait, I learned that lesson already. And that's, that's a lesson that can apply in many different ways, and it'll apply specifically to you in whatever package that is for you. I know for me, it's been really, in my leadership, my career leadership journey, it's been really understanding that even if things look very glittery and very like, oh, amazing and beautiful, but I have a hesitation and my heart saying like, nope, this is not for you, that when I ignore that no and say yes, it just does not go well. Like, I've learned that lesson quite a few times. So now it's so much easier for me to say no, even to things that, some people might look at and be like, well, that's such a great opportunity, but I can just feel it in my body that it's not for me, right? So that's what happened. One of my wisdoms when I look back, ready to move forward, is like, okay, I learned that lesson. I learned that lesson. And so when we step into our ceremony together, and thank you, Destiny, for all your comments, and Lamar and Wills, thank you, welcome. And if anybody else wants to share, please feel free to share. When we step into ceremony, that's what we're going to do. You're going to invite your beautiful soul, and we're going to invite the medicine of the owl. And we're going to invite the energy of compassion and unconditional love as we step into ceremony and ask the question, and look back and like, what am I looking back at? What am I bearing witness to? So then I can like move forward with those pearls of wisdom. So Destiny saying, seeing everywhere I have given my power away are required, and what is mine and what never was mine. Beautiful, Destiny. I love that. What is mine and what was never mine. I know that that's something a lot of us who are called to the priestess path that we get to learn. Because if you're called to this journey, you are, I'm sure, a very sensitive, empathic person. And it's almost like we naturally take on people's stuff. Added to that are oaths and vows and all sorts of stuff from past lives. So it can get very messy. And so, yes, when we come to our journey, Destiny, as you're bringing up here, and we can say like, whoa, wait a minute. Some of this stuff that I've been carrying, not only is it not mine, it was never mine. And I can lay it down. And that doesn't make me a bad person or a selfish person. In fact, if anything, that frees me up and frees the other people up, because we're not here to save anyone, right? Everyone gets to save themselves. But we're freed up to be of service, to be that beacon of light. And that's a very important lesson, right? That's a very important discernment. So let's go ahead and step into ceremony, everyone. So whether you're here live or whether you're watching the replay, please know that we are all here together. And I invite you to take a few cleansing breaths. And I invite you, as you do that, to bring your awareness to your hips and pelvis, your knees, ankles, and feet. And seeing those roots of light going down your legs, out the bottoms of your feet, deep, deep into the earth. So let's make sure that we are all grounded and connected to Mother Earth as we step into ceremony. Ceremony, even as we step into that realm beyond time, as we step into that realm beyond physical constraints, we still stay grounded and present. We do not go into ceremony to escape or run away from anything. We step into ceremony to be more present in our lives, to anchor in the light. And so, this step that we take together of the roots going into the earth, grounding us, is essential. And so, notice for yourself, like really notice, like you might need to set a deeper intention, like, okay, I'm going to ground and connect to the earth. Because a lot of times, if we've had trauma, we tend to live up here, right? I know that was a journey for me for a long time. So let's all of us together just really ground, connect to the earth. And as that happens, feel Mother Earth. She's so delighted that you're here. And now feeling that earth energy move through your body and landing in your heart. So bringing the palms of our hands over our heart center. Palms of your hands over your heart center. Shoulders relax, elbows relax, knowing your heart is the entryway. And before you appears this beautiful golden path. So see this beautiful golden path. And there's a beautiful owl that's standing there on the path. And as you stand, now you are standing at the path. You see the path before you. And in this moment, the path before you represents, right, the rest of the year. This is the path of your leadership, of your career evolution. This is the path of your legacy of love. And yet here you are, and you understand that your soul is inviting you before you move forward. Your soul is inviting you to look back. So on that path, you're going to turn around and you're going to look at the path behind you. All of the months leading to this day. So you're looking at the past now. And for some of you, it might be the very recent past. You might be looking at July, at June, at May, at April, March, February, January. You might be looking at all the months of 2022. And for some of you, it might be longer than that. Your soul might show you years ago. Or perhaps your soul shows you lifetimes, glimpses of lifetimes. You're looking back with the owl, you're looking back with your soul who has nothing but unconditional love. Nothing but the utmost respect for your heroic human journey. And as you look back, you're asking yourself, your soul, what am I being guided to release from the past? What old patterns, what old habits is my soul saying, you don't need to take that with you? And just receive that in your heart. What are you letting go of? And just in acknowledging it, even if you're not fully clear, we're letting it go together. Like, okay, I don't need to take that with me. And as that happens, then we're asking, what are the pearls of wisdom? What are the pearls of wisdom? And so your soul stands before you with this beautiful mala beads, kind of like mine that I'm wearing. And this mala bead is made of all the pearls of wisdom. She's handing you this mala bead with your pearls of wisdom. And you bring that mala beads and you decide, are you going to put them on? Are you going to wear them? Are you going to bring them into your heart? Are you going to wear them as a bracelet? Just decide, where are these pearls of wisdom going to go? Feeling very grounded and grateful, we bow to the past. Bow with reverence. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the blessings. I let go of everything that is unnecessary. I let go of everything that is not mine. With love and compassion and grace. And now we turn around and you face the front. You face forward. And so we ask your soul to integrate this healing, this activation across all four levels of your being: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, across all dimensions of time, for your highest good. And so taking some nice deep breaths, coming back to your heart, coming back to your space. Gently opening your eyes if your eyes are closed, taking some nice stretches, drinking some water if you have some water. And if there's anything you want to share, please feel free to share it here. And if there's anything you want to write down in your journal, please go ahead and do that. It felt really nice to get a mala bead made out of our pearls of wisdom. I love that. I was like, wow. I'm spraying some Palo Santo. And so please remember that when we're in ceremony, it's going to continue to inform you, right? So as you go through your rest of your day, notice the signs, notice the synchronicity, notice the memories that come up, notice the songs you hear, and take care of your body. Take a walk outside, play some music, move your body around. That will really help, just kind of another integration for this to happen with this ceremony. I do want to let you know that I just scheduled a new. So, as first of all, some of you know, tomorrow I will be leaving on my road trip to New Mexico. Woohoo! I'm so excited. So I'll be going there, and then when we come back, a week after, I'll be going by myself to Ireland to do some priestess work over there. But in between, there's a little moment. So I won't be here next week for the priestess transmission. Remember, there are so many you can go back and look at. There's so many novenas you can go back and look at, those priestess novenas that I've led. But on August 11th, I will be doing a Lionsgate Career Prosperity Activation class. August 11th. It's already up on my Facebook events page. The link is there, open to register. I'm so excited. It's going to be really, you're here creating a legacy of love through your career. Of course, through other areas of your life. But as a career coach, that's my focus. So you're here doing that. And I'm so glad, Lizzie. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you for the safe travels. Yes, I welcome all of your prayers for safe and just joyful, loving, healing, expansive travels that I will have. I know I will. But so this Lionsgate class, prosperity, there's so many of us who are on this priestess path where we've taken vows and oaths of poverty, of scarcity, of powerlessness, all sorts of crazy things because of many reasons. So this is going to be really about opening up the floodgates of prosperity and once and for all laying down to rest that which is time to rest, that which is time to lay down, which is the scarcity, the vows and oaths of powerlessness. And doing this in that beautiful portal of the Lionsgate is going to be so powerful. Mother Mary, Isis, Hathor are really going to be present, as well as the Divine Masculine Ascended Masters. So anyway, you can read about it on my Facebook page. Let's pull a card for you and then we will be done. Thank you everyone for being here. All right. And if you're not signed up for my newsletter, please go ahead and do so. That is where you'll get the most up-to-date information about my classes. All right. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Merope, the fallen star. I no longer hide my face. I step into my light with love. Look at this. I no longer hide my face. I step into the light with love. Right? No more hiding. You are stepping forward into the light. That is what is being required from all of us. So there you go. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous card. This is from the Star Temple Oracle by Susie Cherub. All right. Again, I no longer hide my face. I step into my light with love. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Sign up for my YouTube channel if you're not signed up, and let other priestesses out there know. If you know that this will resonate them, send them to the channel. All right. Bye, everyone.